I wish y'all would fucking think about the 13-year-old that was getting raped. Call me a murderer. Man, the 13-year-old was getting raped. Do y'all care? No, you're a murderer.
Welcome to Jobbed Out, the wrestling editorial that reminds you to party hardy, just don't party like Marty, please. Now, I spoke about this a couple of months ago, but it looks like we've got a bit of an update. So Marty Jannetty killed a man. Oh, you need more than that? Okay, well, the original video covering Jannetty's antics is still up, but for those who need the abridged version, one day out of nowhere, Marty Jannetty put up a post on Facebook. The service he should have learned by now not to be putting posts up out of nowhere. Anyway, Marty told the story of killing a man who tried to sexually assault him when he was a teenager. The purpose, it seemed, was to threaten Winnie, a woman who was still somehow not getting any headline as the person Marty Jannetty threatened to kill. To make disappear. Well, of course the police got involved, but not too seriously, as it's all based on hearsay and there wasn't necessarily a cold case to reopen or evidence of an unidentified body to look into. Still, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation did get involved, leading Marty to change his story. Now, it's all a wrestling angle, which, I'm sorry, but what wrestling company do you work for, Marty? Does Winnie work there? Who's supposed to be wrestling that warranted this story? This is the sad old wrestler's version of I was hacked, or it's just a prank, bro, and nobody was buying it.
I have to say it's a storyline for the police part. Which, now they're gonna go, you ain't gonna find it, because I lied.
Well, yesterday, Marty spoke about it during an interview with Hannibal TV, and Marty didn't look so good. In the same breath, he claimed it was all a story just to quiet the police down.
And I was just joking. I was trying to set up a storyline.
And then he began justifying what happened.
They don't care about that 13-year-old getting raped. It's like, oh, you killed somebody. What do you think he was going to do to me?
Now here's the thing, I get that this guy's in pain. And he does have a valid point that there definitely is not enough consequence for rape and sexual assault. Just look at Brock Turner. People went out of their way to defend Turner as to not ruin his future, despite nobody ever talking about the future of, the woman he raped. Initially, my position here was, well, still, he murdered a man. Even with the broken-ass justice system we've got, murder is more serious than rape. The rapist still committed a crime, but so did a murderer. Then I thought about this for a bit, and I remembered another case. This is Cyntoia Brown, the woman who in 2004 was sentenced to life in prison for killing her rapist when she was 16. As a teen, she was repeatedly drugged and raped, pimped out, and eventually sold to a pedophile. Eventually, she fought back and shot the man dead. She wasn't looked at as a child, she wasn't even looked at as a victim. She was tried as an adult and sentenced to life in prison with possibility of parole just before she turned 70. What in the fuck? Well, 16 years later, she received clemency and was released. But what does it matter? She lost 16 years of her life. Going back to Jannetty here, it's not quite the same thing, but yeah, there are some parallels, aren't there? Marty claims to have killed a man who tried to rape him when he was a child. The difference is Marty and, according to his new story, his nephew burned and disposed of the body, and he was never arrested, charged, or sentenced. So, should he be? In Marty's region, there's no statute of limitations when it comes to murder, so every time he opens his mouth about what happened, he is putting himself at risk. It almost seems like he wants to be caught.
Me and my nephew poured gas on him and burnt the body up. And I don't know what y'all know about cremation. The bones, man, they don't all burn up like that. There was so many bone things that we dug a big hole and put the bones in.
Now, the real question is, how were you at bowling back in those days?
What? What the fuck?
It's not likely to happen, though, unless somebody finds bone fragments or something that definitely proves Marty's telling the truth and is not just hoganing it up. Yeah, I'm gonna make hoganing a thing now. But he is right about something. A lot of people are obsessed with calling him a murderer, but these are the same people that were demanding justice for Cyntoia. Cyntoia isn't the only example either. Jay Maynor shot dead the man who sexually abused his daughter. He's serving 40 years right now. Gary Plosh shot his son's karate instructor who had kidnapped and sexually abused his 10-year-old son. He ended up with the lightest sentence of the three, 5 years suspended sentence, 5 years probation, and some community service. But that's what Jannetty needs to take notice of. While all three of them may have been pat on the back by the public and regarded as heroes for standing up for kids, none of them went consequence-free. You know the expression, two negatives don't make a positive? That's because killing somebody, regardless of reason, is still a crime. No matter who, no matter why. It's still taken really, really seriously, because if it wasn't, then people would just go ahead and say, shoot up a church. Now with that said, and I did say this the first time around, people overlooked the most important part that even Jannetty isn't talking about. Nobody's asking him. Why the hell did he bring Winnie into it? Why the hell did he tell a story of killing somebody and then threatening to do the same to an unrelated woman? Why isn't that story here? Regardless of whether he should be praised or punished over his claims of putting an end to a pedophile decades ago, he threatened the life of someone now, in a very public forum. That's a big deal that can and should be investigated like yesterday. That's just my opinion though. What side of the fence do you stand on when it comes to party foul Marty Jannetty? Was he justified for allegedly killing a predator? Should he be praised? Should he be punished for claiming he killed and disposed of a body rather than go to the police? Third option here. Do you think this is all just one big bullshit work just to scare off somebody that everybody else seems to have forgotten about? Tell me what you think in the comments and be sure to subscribe to the channel for more, because I want you to be a part of the conversation too. For now though, I better get my shoulders off the mat, so thank you for tuning in to Jobbed Out. I'll catch you next time.